I decided to go ahead and make a video because the skies are beautiful and why not talk? Okay, one moment. I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture of the skies over there as well. Really cool clouds here. Shall I take a photograph using the little button to take a picture while taking a video? I will. Always hard to get it in the right frame. Wow. I think that did it. Alright. That's cool. So I'm just gonna chill up here and talk while the sun sets. Just get over here before the clouds fade. Clouds really do fade fast. The sun sets fast, and before you know it, the cool sky. Did I already miss it? Because I look at the clouds from over. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I kind of missed it. It was a lot cooler before. I'll still take a picture and hope it turns out well. So I'm just gonna chill up here. The moon is hiding. Don't want to be seen. Hopefully you can get a better view up here. Don't want it to be blocked. Oof. I climbed today, so I'm a little sore. Yeah, that is hard to do with one hand. Yeah, okay, not really a good view. Could sit on top of that one, but that's right next to someone's house, so I'll sit. My life's been good lately. I'm gonna do a series soon because I made videos narrating my poetry, but A, can't update them, and B, they don't reach many people because they're long forms. So I'm gonna make a short form video for every one of them so they both reach more people. I can add them as I make them, which is very frequent, and you know, you can listen to the ones you want to listen to without having to go through an entire video. I see what I picture right there is like a guy, there's the hair up there, the arms, holding like a baby, and the baby is magical or something. Might just be me, but that's what I see. Picturing things in clouds is fun. I almost always do monsters. Anytime I see any branch, like that would be a little sort of tailless, legless rat. There's a mouth and the eye. Oh. Okay. That's nice. But yeah, I always do monsters and stuff. So like there, that would be the entire mouth. Any loop at all, I just picture as a mouth. Car coming. And they're going left. Nissan Altima. Down they go. Had some fun drivers today. One of them, the road was split, so it was basically like that, but with one more lane. So you had a turn lane, well, a long turn lane because it was downhill for buses, then a road, and then in the middle, like pretend you just split that apart, there was a two-way turn lane, I forgot what they're called, middle lane for turning only, and then the other lane. So they were doing road work on the right side. So there's the middle lane, or wait, was it both? Wait, there was the right. There is, yeah, the machine. So they had the road work actually happening in the right lane. The middle lane is where the workers and the machines, you know, excavators and stuff were. So there's only 2 lanes left, where typically there'd be a lot. You have the people going up who had to use the right lane, and the people going this way, downhill, which had to use the turn lane, and at the end there was cones so you could go onto the normal road. One of these guys was in a RAV. I'd love to have seen who they were. Driving extremely slowly, curving out on the road and kind of swerving, not doing very good, probably on their phone. And when they got to a break, which was like about there once the turn lane started, and there was cones, so there was a gap. So you, like that, there was a gap for you, like from the cones there to there, so you could turn into the neighborhood in that direction. So this person was walking, or not walking, driving. I just whatever. They confused me. They were driving on the right side, and then once they got to the gap, they thought, oh, I'm supposed to go over here, and they went into the side where the other people were coming towards, and then they cut across in the middle of the cones. Doggy, that car needs repairs. But anyways, yeah, so they went to the other side and then swerved across once they realized they went the wrong way. It was just, like, sad. They drove super slowly, too. Man, I don't know. Maybe they're just, like, really old. Either that or on their phone or both. I don't know. They're cruising. We honestly need to normalize hanging out in odd places. Like, why does everyone stare at me when I hang out on top of this? It's just so lame to hang out in boring places. Like, you just go somewhere you're not supposed to, and it's like, oh, what's that? And I know that's why it's weird, because if you're not supposed to be somewhere, then it's weird, but just being in these places is more fun. Imagine they put a bench up here. Honestly, like, if I just brought a lawn chair up here, that would be kind of funny. But that would be risky, because you don't want to put something very poorly supported on a tall structure. Oh, spiderweb. Hello. Cool. They ain't got hella loot there, bro. Look at all the carcasses. Oh, there's a little spider above him, too. He has a kid. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Airplane. Not that you can see it. It's a dot to you, but I can see it. It's pretty cool. Tempted to just jump off and roll. That'd hurt. I'm not gonna do that. It's nice to be tall. It's nice to be, again, that's why I like speed too. Because when you're breaking the norm, it feels good. It feels like you're breaking free. I've written about speed actually. So when you're being up here, you're getting out of where you're supposed to be, down there. Sometimes a little bit in there if you want to have fun. Only going across there, across the street. That's why it's fun to lay in the road when there's no cars around, because it just feels wrong, it feels different. You know, you experience what it's like just to be here. No one else goes here. I'm probably one of the only people in the world who have ever been here, except for some other people who curiously went up just for fun. And I'm higher than normal. Most people in my neighborhood, well, okay, they have a bad example, have probably not been at this height. And if they have, they've been on a balcony or on a roof or something, not here. So I'm one of the few people ever to be standing right here at this height. And I've often imagined as a kid, like, I would love to see a visualization of every single volume of air, relative to Earth. So, you know, if you just like did it in relative to the universe, the Earth would just move away. So relative to Earth and its rotation, every volume of air that a human living cell attached to their body by electron forces, just to be specific, because you always got to be specific when making hypotheticals. Other people just kind of like do it vaguely, but then that leaves out details. So every living cell attached to their body by electron bonds, or other bonds, I guess, too, maybe like van der Waals forces as well, that has contacted a volume of air to the, what's it called? Planck length. Perfect accuracy. Then again, cells are kind of less accurate than that. Even the electron movement would be disrupting that. But whatever. So yeah, every volume of air. Like, I would take up this volume, maybe the volume like a little bit higher than me. Boom, now it's like gonna be highlighted in translucent red. So I'd like to see every volume of air a human has been, to see both all the absurd places someone has been, like you get to see someone jumping from places and stuff, but then also all the places people haven't been, like some place that you'd think someone would be, but then for some reason there's just no one who has ever been there. Just like a gap right there where no one's ever walked in their life, or anyone's life, even in like before everything, modern civilization existed. Wouldn't that be interesting? I could be the first person ever to touch this volume of air. Because why would anyone else be up here? To trim these trees, maybe? But they would use a extension thing. They wouldn't be all the way up here. I'm probably one of the first people ever, if not the first, to touch this volume of air. And of course, air circulates, so that's not really true. But this volume, relative to Earth, I'm probably the first person to ever touch. Ooh, birdie. I apologize for my iPhone SE camera. It is not high quality. But still, birdie. So that's cool. Let's check out the sky again. How do I get down from this slowly? I don't want to drop down because of climbing today. So, oh, I'm holding the phone that way so you can't see. All right, so I gotta. What do I gotta do? I think do I reach on the back? No, that's too far. Okay. So what I'll do is, there's no, see, okay, I can put my foot there on the thing. But then do I go around the side? No. I can't really work my way down slowly. Maybe I can. I'll try stepping in the loop. Okay, kind of cheating using both hands now. Well, not really both hands, but one hand and an arm. But makes it easier, so. I'll give you an example of why it's cool to go in places you don't normally go. Just be out here. It feels weird when you're out here in person. It's like, it feels like my legs are slightly tense because they feel like I'm not supposed to be here. I gotta get out. My mind's looking for an objective, like quick, get off the road. But if I ignore those signals from my brain and my legs, it's like I could just kind of wander out here. It feels weird. Imagine having a Beyblade battle right here. That'd be sick. And it only feels sick because you're just not supposed to be here. That's why exploring abandoned buildings and stuff feels weird, because you know you're not supposed to be there. Always watch both sides, of course. You gotta be safe doing this. There's Jetson over there. Oop, someone screeched their brakes and tires. Okay, car's coming, I think. I don't know, hard to tell. You can sit down here. Look at the up-close rocks of what is typically just a black blur. I've written about this in one of my writings called The Drive Home. Detailed that part. It's just so cool, isn't it? The intricacies of everything. I think in some factory somewhere, some stamp pressed out that little shape, that little square right there, and I'm picking at it. Of just a massive world where everything else exists. It's brilliant to think how each individual atom may have a reaction in the world. Oh, there's a screw here. I wonder why. In the world, when you try to just think scale by scale to picture the vastness of everything. Alright. You think the amount of atoms in a hand is insane. Hands on a body, there's so many hands in the world. You can get this close. These rocks are big, forms a structure, all combined, held together by electron forces and stuff. And this is just one thing in this area, in this region, in the entire world, in the entire universe. It's massive, it's insane. Can't comprehend it. And that's what makes it beautiful. Gotta find position when I was talking. Bang, bang. Oop, birdie. Just landed up there. You can't see it. I can't see it either because I've lost it. Whatever. Crickets. Or not crickets. Frogs? Not frogs. Cicadas? No. The other one, you know. There's a car coming. I'm gonna salute it. It was a sheriff, no way. Oh, that's perfect. Why is this? Oh, it just says brake running, you know, whatever. Has one mode because it's darker. Oh, that's a cool picture. Alright, took the picture. There's no feedback for when, like, you press, there's a little white button when you're taking a video, and when you press it, it's supposed to take a picture, but it doesn't have any sounds or show, like, the image being taken and slide off on its own. It's like, did I take it? I don't know if I did. Because it does slightly go in, but it's suspicious. I'm probably the only person to have ever touched this in the world. And off it goes. Alright, there's a car coming again. I will salute it. I'll put my hand behind my back, but you're in my hand. Maybe else. Okay, there's a Honda Ridgeline. They don't deserve salute. How dare they be a Honda Ridge? No, it's a Ford F-150. See, the shape of it looked like a Ridgeline to me. But they're not. FX4. Yeah. Dodge Durango. Cool. That's common. Obviously not like that cool, but you know, compared to an F-150. Best-selling truck in America. Actually, best-selling vehicle in America at one point. Insane. I want to do push-ups here. I always like working out in weird places. It's fun to do anything in weird places, especially working out. All right, let me. Oh, there's a little bug there. Come on, focus. You can. Where'd he go? I lost him. He's gone. Car coming. Not really in camouflage clothing. And they're going there. Car coming. And off they go. Alright, let me press it up real quick. Okay, so I'm not gonna fall like these. I'll put it over here so it doesn't fall. There's really not a lot of room for my feet. Wow, after climbing, this is hard. Yep, okay, I can only do two. My arms are too sore. But yeah, not a lot of room for my feet. Yep, bird zipping by. Clouds are getting alright. Earlier my phone died when I was making like a long video, and I didn't notice it died. Because I wasn't thinking about making a video. It had like 40% charge. And I decided to make a video and I forgot about that. So it just died. Like, thankfully I noticed like a minute after it died. And I was like, why'd it go black? Press the home button, nothing happened. Press the power button and I went, oh, it's dead. So yeah, went home after that, obviously. The SR-71 Blackbird is a top speed of Mach 3.2 who only limited by the I messed up, oh no. It was built during the early 1960s and technically late 1950s, but that was the development of the A-12 Ox Cart, not the SR-71. And it was built to replace the U-2 spy plane because they knew it was going to be obsolete. And guess what? 1960, May 1st, Gary Powers and the U-2 spy plane flying over Soviet Russia got sat down by a missile. And the problem with it is that it was too bad and the missiles were developing fast and they needed to upgrade it. But they couldn't, so they decided to make a new plane. And they were like, oh my God, it's going to get shot down. And unfortunately, Gary Powers got shot down. Someone loved me. And I got so much to provide. On my knowledge, on my strength. I have a writing on this. You know, if you want to learn about my writings, well, either you could watch the series I'm going to make soon, or you can read them. And I highly doubt, if you're watching this right now, you are not added to me on Discord because, well, if you are, you probably haven't made it this far. Or if you're not added, you probably haven't made it this far because you wouldn't care. You just see what it is and get bored. You don't really care about this if you've added me on Discord, because some people do like my voice, and I've had many people who subscribe to me because they ASMR, even a gay femboy who DM'd me. I was like, oh hell no. And many people like my voice and what I have to say, but I think, ooh, almost fell. So something interesting actually. I've been thinking and writing about why friends deserve more respect than strangers and why you should treat them better and treat them as if they're more special and do things, you know, stuff like that. And I come up for reasons with most of them, but I just now had an addition to that. Why is it that if you know me in person really well, you would be more interested to watch this video? Is it because you're interested in what I have to say? And if so, why? You're curious what I may be like. You may learn about me more, which may grow bonds in one direction, of course. And you want to know if I have anything interesting to say, or if I do, you want to know if I'm the person to say. You may be surprised by the kind of things I have to say. You can learn more about me, I guess. I mean, really, why? Suppose this. You were sent a 5-minute video where it's just someone like me talking. That's not interesting, right? Now you're told it was made by a friend, not a parent. Parent, you know too well. So you'd be like, okay, I already know what kind of stuff they would say. But a friend. Why are all the people coming in suddenly? So this friend made the video and you're like, okay, let's see what they have to say. I'm curious. You know, let's see what they did. But if it's a stranger, it's like, I don't care. Why is that? What differentiates your interest in seeing what a friend did versus what a stranger did? I'm guessing it's because, similar to how fiction works, where many outcomes could be true, but if you could just make the outcome, it's not that interesting. And there's more details to that. I have a writing on that. But it's sort of like that, because if they're a friend, sure, they could say, like, I don't know, Flammenwerfer for all the furries. And anyone could say that. If it's a stranger on the internet, you're like, okay, sure, yeah, many people agree with that. But if it's your friend, you're interested to see what kind of views they have, you know, what kind of things they say. Because, again, you can learn about them, which can increase your bonding, and you can understand more about them. But also, you're just curious, you know, it's curiosity. Why curious? Why are people curious to learn about their own country and less curious to learn about a random country? Why is that? Because it's applicable to their own life? I suppose so. Perhaps it's just the inherent desire that people like to learn, and that's what drives. Ooh, whoa, these are kind of aligned. Look, that one fits in that line. That one fits in that line. That one fits in that line. That one fits in that line mostly, not that part. And that one fits in that line. That's cool. That's cool. That one fits over there with that one. Anyways, yeah, OCD notices this kind of crap. So yeah, I guess it's because it's applicable to your life. And familiarity and the desire to learn. Two things the brain likes. It likes to learn, and it likes to things are familiar. So when something is familiar, it's curious. Like, oh, I could learn more about something that I'm used to, something that I know. Let's see how my perception changes. If I'm asked a fact about it, I can tell them those things. I can tell people I'm more familiar with the place I'm from, or with the friend I have, stuff like that. And perhaps if it's someone, but if it's a stranger, it doesn't apply to you. Which is why I highly doubt anyone who has not added me on Discord is watching this right now. Unless you are a devoted fan and you just have never commented on my videos, please do that if you are that, although I highly doubt there's anyone doing that. You probably haven't watched my videos because, who cares? If you're a stranger, it's the Halo energy sword lights. But yeah, if you're a stranger, you care less about what I have to say. Are they turning? Oh, they're turning that way. Okay. About what I have to say. Hurry up. Come on. He's already gone. So, because I could, again, I could say anything. If your friend said something insane, you're like, whoa. If a guy said something insane, it's like, yeah, anyone could say that. So it's really just about, I think, the brain's familiarity and with the desire to learn and how learning about something familiar to you can be more applicable to your life. I will research that when I get home, but that is my hypothesis based on what I know. It's very good to know things. Oh, there you go again. There's a sort of example, more broad though than specific. Me knowing about general things and learning about things that are applicable to generally life, I can talk about this stuff. If I learned about a completely random Sri Lankan place, that's less applicable, and I couldn't make that in a video. I'd have to apply that knowledge only there. So yeah. Broad stance. Yeah. Shall I lower again? Ooh, was that thunder or what was that? I don't know what that was. I heard some sort of low rumbling sound. Alright, let's check out the sky again, because it's a pretty cool color now. So, let's again sort of cheat and use both my hand and arm. Right. Make sure no one's coming. Is that good enough for? No, it's not. I have Tony Cool spot pictures, so that one wouldn't compare to the others. It's just a big block of sky. I'll lay it down here, because why not? Anyways, I could have been doing an accent this entire time. The whole YouTube accent, mine kind of faded, because I used to always do this accent when I'm doing a video, to make it more inherently entertaining. But perhaps I've shifted away from that, mostly, because it's less authentic, maybe? Because I want to say what I want to say, and if you're only listening to it with an accent, because I have an accent, then it's not that good. But of course, there is the good old 1%. Oh, there's James lives in there. But, the 1% is people who only listen because of the accent, people who only listen because of the content. But then there's people who are pulled in by the accent, but then watch the video for the content. That's the few percent. Because there's many things like that in the world. If you do something, like if you offer something for another reason, people will come for that reason and not take the other thing, and other people will come for that thing and ignore the additional reason because they already like the thing. But there's a few people you'll get pulled in and they'll actually like it, and then you have your base or something like that. I don't know, just saying things. What if I just stood on this line at the front? But yeah, so I will now bring up a subject that I have a writing on, called the high and low stage of life. The high stage is things anyone can look for and find, like the teachings of Socrates and mathematics and stuff like that. The low stage is your personal life. So anyone who wants to find the high stage, you can find it. That is why I don't want to become part of the high stage. Of course, I do believe my knowledge is useful and perhaps slightly unique, but I'm sure someone else has said it, like what I have said, and someone else has worded it in better ways than what I have said, somewhere in the high stage. So I don't want to be part of that. What I want to do is reach as many people in the low stage, which is why having a large audience of loyal fans where you talk about educational things isn't that great, because they'll already know all the things you have to say. They're watching because they like you. What animal was that? A squirrel? I don't know. But yeah, my goal is to spread. I know I'm thinking of too many things at one time. I can't say it all. So I have a utilitarian view, which I have a writing on. I write on everything, seriously. And the goal is, there's a lot of details to it, but in general, it's utilitarian, which means maximize joy for everyone on average. So, well, not on average, but combined, which is of course an unmeasurable thing. But you try your best. So I'm trying to benefit everyone I possibly can, which means if I had, say, if I had to choose between 100,000 people, that's too many. I would still choose that. You're ballsy. If I had to choose between 1,000 people who consistently watch my videos solely for the knowledge purposes, but once they have learned everything I have to teach them, they still watch them because even if I repost the knowledge stuff, they still want to know about it, versus 20 people who are learning new stuff. Basically, 1,000 people who aren't learning anything new from me versus 20 who are. I would choose the 20 because I want to spread to as many people as possible. That's the idea of the low stage. I'll do what I can in my personal life to spread information. And if that involves doing an accent to pull people in, to learn something, maybe I'll do that. So, I like to be an influential speaker. Not as someone who, is just really popular, perhaps. I don't know. It could work. It helps to have popularity because you can spread things more and you have more influence. But rather, or as someone who reaches as many people as possible. I don't want to be the person you look up when you're searching for knowledge. Not many people do that, sadly. I want to be the person you know about, and the person you like, and the person whose writings you enjoy. And then you can find out about my knowledge and learn about it. And then you are then benefited from it. I would like my knowledge to be a secondary aspect of me.
The mighty dusk.
So, I'm kind of just rambling, honestly. I have writings on these kind of things, but in general, I try to do what I can to help as many people as possible. And it's difficult to do that, of course. But I try. And if this video could reach many people, I wouldn't care. But if a video on knowledge of any sort would reach many people, I would care. And of course, it depends who you're reaching. If you're reaching people who it doesn't apply to, like knowledge on how to be less emotional and people who are illogical, I don't care. But I want to reach people who need it, of course. I'm going to put my phone up this time because it's easier to climb that way. Okay, I did it pretty much the exact same way. Whatever. Is that a delivery driver? Delivery. It just says delivery on the side. I don't know what he's delivering. He's parking right there. Is he delivering kidnaps? Imagine he kidnaps me. I would jump for that into a wall. What kind of van legit just says delivery on the side? No, he's delivering something. That guy needs a new suspension, I think? I don't know. Sounds weird. What a late time to deliver crap. Use your turn signal. He didn't use his turn signal. How dare he? I'm stealth. He can't see me. Wow. Let's have a hug on the other side so I can lean over further. Except for the fact that my calves hurt, so I can't do that hard. It's fun to just be silly, isn't it? I live my entire life, well, pretty much my entire life, my entire conscious and self-aware life alone, for the most part. So, I'm curious what it'd be like having someone. I did a writing today, actually, on how I'm always the provider, both a poetic writing and an informational one. So I'm always providing, and my goal is to help everyone, so I'm not really used to receiving. So in a relationship, could you shut up, please? my god. Stop revving. So yeah, I'm always providing, and I don't really like to receive, really. Because I'm good at receiving when it's, like, expected. Like, if someone goes to a coffee shop and they know there's something there you like and they have spare money, they can get you something. It's like, oh, cool, thanks. But when it's intentional and... what's the word? What's a more and accurate word for out of the blue? Without any other incentives. Incentiveless, I guess. When it's without incentive, and they just do it on their own will because they cared about you. That's where it would be weird for me. I struggle to receive things in that sense, and especially in a relationship. My goal is to provide myself entirely, my entire being, eternally for the rest of my life to someone, which is why the main reason I desire a relationship. Being able to provide myself and everything I have to someone eternally, to someone who enjoys it, is insane. Because I have so much to give, but I have no one to give it to. So that would be amazing for me. Which is why someone else providing their love to me, just because they love me, would be weird. I wouldn't be used to that. I don't know what it'd be like. It'd probably be amazing. Because, well, I don't know if I'd be uncomfortable, but I guess it'd be amazing because I'm so used to just getting joy because of virtue being its own reward, that getting joy because someone loves me would be abnormal. My brain, it's like if someone was completely content with just eating bread and then suddenly you gave them a Sour Patch Kids, like, well, I didn't need this, but wow, oh my god, this is amazing, and just overwhelmed them. That's what I think it'd be like, but I don't know. That cloud looks like a boot, like an old boot, you know? Peter Pan's boot. A squished window. Yep, go around there. Judging the driving of other people right now. Oh, turn signals? No turn signals? Are you going straight? Oh, they're just on their phone. I can see you on your phone, buddy. Yeah. Still looking at your phone, huh? Yeah, best we get. Why is the guy still there? What is he doing? Is he plotting the kidnap? Is he getting his Glock? Am I going to be kidnapped? Of course, this video would only be seen by you if I wasn't kidnapped. Unless this guy decided to post the video for no reason. Or like I got back and I posted this much later. You wouldn't know. For all you know, I got kidnapped on September 27th, 2025, and I'm only posting this later. Or perhaps I got kidnapped. Well, no, that'd be more sense. I posted on September 27th. So perhaps I got kidnapped on September 15th. How did you know? Probably because I said today is 27th and I'd be posting on the 27th. But anyways. Gotta love paradoxical loops. And me trying to satisfy everything and explain everything, trying to explain a paradox, which is inherently impossible. I've asked ChatGPT multiple times, give me a hard-to-solve paradox, and then I give a solution. It's like, you're right, and that's why it's not really a paradox. And I was like, then why did you... Because, of course, ChatGPT ain't perfect. Yeah. It's starting to get dark. Best be getting home before the night riders come along and start hunting. You never know when they're gonna get you. They do it swift. Man, for you to be here and still paying attention. Thank you, I suppose. What am I thanking you for? Caring about me, I guess? Either you have so much time to waste you don't care about clicking off, and in that case, then whatever. Do something better with your time. But if you don't, and you're choosing to dedicate your limited time on this earth to me and my ramblings, thank you, I guess. I mean, I don't know. What I'd rather have you do is live with me and be my partner and make me happy, but even if you can't do that, I guess the least you could do is care about me in general. You should have stopped to check that side, because don't fly out there and kill you. So yeah, I mean, if you were to care about me and you listen to this, I'd like you to... There's a cat there. You can't see it because it's completely black, but I can see it because eyes can perceive better light contrast in the dark than cameras can. Which is why so many Teslas get in crashes at night, but humans can see things. Kitty cat, I can see you. Are you looking at me? Oh, yep. Wait, there's something in front of the cat. Is it hunting something? I think it's hunting something. Hold on. Do I have something to throw? I don't think I can throw anything. The best I can do is like these branches. I think it's actually hunting something. I'm throwing branches over there. These little things. I don't think I'm ranging the cat. It's not moving. I like how you can't see shit right now. Plane. There's still a cat there, right? Where'd he go? I can't see it. Is there a cat there or am I hallucinating? I might just be wild. Imagine there wasn't a cat there in the first place. Come on. Am I seriously? There's legitimately a chance that I'm sitting here picking off leaves of trees, sitting on top of a sign at nighttime, trying to see if there's a cat in those bushes and throwing these leaves at it. Acoustic. Go. I wish I could use my silliness to make someone happy. Maybe I'm making you happy by being silly. Yeah, that's good, I guess. Making people happy. There goes the delivery driver. With the literally delivery on the side. Oh, he's slashing his brights. Why are you telling him to go? Oh, because he can't accelerate fast because he's got packages in his little Honda Odyssey. Yeah. And he don't want to be tail. Oh, because he's going right there. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, I think he could have just made that and... Yeah, I don't know. Wait, why don't you just... I guess he doesn't know because he's not familiar, but he could just go around the block. But whatever. What is that? Nissan? Mercedes? BMW? Not using a turn signal. It's gotta be a Beamer. If that's a Beamer, that'd be hilarious. Oh my god, it's a Beamer. Oh, that's great. That's a Nissan Rogue. Or, not the Rogue, but the, is it the Rogue? Or the one that's like the Rogue? No. I forget. I'm gonna lay it back down. Oh, there's a star right above me. Is that a North Star? I highly doubt it. That's cool though. There's a star. There's a couple stars actually, but that one's right there. Right there. Hello, star. I'm trying to align like the iPhone gives you like a little alignment thing, but it's really, there we go. That would be straight up from where the phone is. Almost. I'm struggling to align the dang crosses because it's like inverted movement. There we go. That's straight up. It's slightly opposite from me. But yeah, there's a little star. Hey, star, I'm sure you have a name already, because scientists do that. But I'm going to name you Jerry. Jerry the Star. Jerry, I'm going to tell you a story. Alright? I'm going to go to this voice now. So, Jerry, I'm your papa, of course. Now, I'm familiar with many things in life. Despite the fact that I'm only 16, I've been through a decent amount of stuff. I'd say maybe more than another person my age, but less in some areas. Like, I'm less experienced with having friends, but I am pretty experienced with a lot of things. Like, I've found my meaning of life, I've debated philosophy and paradoxes, I've tried to comprehend the incomprehensible. You know, I've done a lot of stuff. So I'd like to tell you something, little Jerry. So that's what I named him, right? Jerry the Star. Did I name him Jerry? I literally just, I forgot what I named him. I think it's Jerry. What is that guy staring at me for? Probably just on his phone. But yeah. Why are you pulling out the moment someone else comes through? Stupid. Someone else coming up? Who's that? Alright. See ya, Jerry the Star. I'd like to tell you a little story. So, long time ago, back when I was 16 years old, on the date September 27th, which just so happens to be the date of today, I made a writing. And the writing is titled Help. And that's the story, Jerry. Don't hide behind the cloud. Oh, he's putting his blanket on now. Okay. Alright, well, that's fine, Jerry. You sleep well. Love you, honey. I don't know why I'm doing a female voice now, sort of. Love you, honey, Jerry. Sweetie pie. Make sure to sleep well. Tighten your bed ropes. Don't want them nasty bed bugs getting to you, now, do you? Alright, now, well, you sleep. I'll see you in the morning. I would love to have someone to roleplay with. I've never actually done a roleplay in real life. It's annoying. I have the voice and the acting and everything. I would be so good as an actor, honestly. I'd love to. Someone, you know, it's interesting. I've found so many ways to have fun, found so many ways to have joy in my life. So many things I'm good at, and there's so many things I haven't done. I haven't roleplayed with someone. I haven't hugged someone outside of my family. I haven't kissed someone in my entire life. I don't have friends. So, you know, it's interesting. The amount of things I could do if I had one legitimate friend, I could hug them, talk to them, share my stuff, do all my fun, silly, goofy things, show off my talents to them. There's so much I could actually do with them that I can't do right now and I have never done. I never think about that because I don't really consider it to be a possibility. Well, I know it's a possibility, but not at the moment. I'm not currently making friends. I'm trying to, though. You know, youth group every Wednesday. But once I do, I could do so much, and I don't know what it'd be like because I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like to do things with people. And when I say like mostly, I mean I do have the one friend Jed who I still have some technically, but we barely ever talk, and we hung out back when we went to real life school and stuff. But in terms of female friends, honestly, I mean Juliet. I talked to her a couple times at school. Back in pre-K, I had a kid I knew. Her name was Emily or Emma, I think. Vaguely recall. We said we wanted stuffed animals of each other. I don't know why I remember that. I remember what she looked like though. It'd be fun to talk to her. Imagine we both remembered each other, found each other soulmates later on in life. That'd be funny. But yeah, I've never really had a female friend in my entire life. That's because I've always been weird. I only really became self-conscious, ironically, once I left the affirmation of other people. Many people are like me, are weird on their own, and then once other people start judging them and stuff, and they have to fit into normal life, they become more normal. But for some reason with me... Oh, there's the cat now. I see it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Wait for it to move. Can you see it? Can you see it? Hold on. Maybe if I... Can you see it? Boo! Blah, blah, blah. Oh, there it moved. There you go. There it is. I see it. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, I think it's just maybe because of mental maturity, less to do with being isolated, but you know, I became more like me. I guess it's really just improvement. My friends kind of set me back. I saw them as normal, and they were kind of holding me back because they were stupid. So once I became more isolated from them, I realized how stupid they were. Drifted away from them for other reasons as well. Started being isolated and started improving on my own. I guess I just had the inherent desire, probably mainly influenced by my parents raising me right, unlike them. So I wanted to be a good person, not a bad person. I wasn't selfish. And for that reason, I improved a lot. And in doing so, that's who I really became. I mean, many people's personalities can be defined by what they like and what they are like. So, you know. Yes, I like Monster High, and I drink a boba every day, and I like watching anime sometimes. I have friends who go with my dogs a lot. I work out, and that's their personality. They're fun and giddy, and, you know, they talk about this, and they use this expression a lot. But me, I let logic define my life. So my personality is really just described as logical, strive to be the best. I mean, I have interests, of course. You could say I love the SR-71, but I'm just kind of me. You know, I rock climb. I don't have that many interests. I like classic rock, I guess. But I don't do that much in my life. So yeah, I'm just kind of me. I forgot why I started talking about this. I kind of went on a tangent, I think. Why was I initially talking about this? Because oh yeah, who I became. So yeah, becoming isolated just kind of made me grow into trying to be perfect, and in doing so, a lot of things I cut out. Like, I used to be a gamer. Really, actually, that was a huge part of me. I used to game all the time. Played tons of games. But then I realized, well, it's just deteriorating my brain, dopamine system, getting unnecessary amounts of blue light and eye straining my eyes. It's unproductive. So I just stopped entirely. Literally haven't gamed, and I forgot how. Oh wait, the refresh happened. January. Oh, there's the cat. January 1st-ish. Later January. I did a lot of things. The refresh is progressive because I was planning to have the refresh be done on May 29th, my birthday. but I just could not wait for that, so I started and stopped doing things kind of early, namely one thing which I won't mention. But yeah, I stopped gaming. I just kind of lost interest in games. There's a lot of games I played, almost all of them, got good at them, and stopped playing and didn't want to go back. So for that reason, and along with the fact that I realized I just didn't kind of need to at all, just stopped gaming, and I haven't gamed since. So it's been about 3/4 of a year since I've actually played a video game. So yeah, that's fun. And that was part of my personality. Now that's gone. Because many people, can say, I like watching this, I like playing this, I like doing this. Well, I don't need to game, because one of the first things I discovered when I broke down my philosophy of life and the meaning of life, one phrase I made was, find the most beneficial method of joy you can do and do it. So if I can get joy from watching an educational video and get joy from playing games, why do the worst one? So yeah, it sounds kind of cynical when people say, like, I play games, like, oh, I don't need to do that, it's not necessary, it's just a waste of time. Yeah, but I just don't need to. So I used to tell you what games I could play with you. I don't play games anymore, which is kind of one reason it's hard for me to bond to other people, because other people are normal, both in personality and in their interests, and I'm not. So I can't really relate to those things. I don't play games. I don't watch shows. I don't watch it. I just do me. I want to be around someone and be like me. I could tell you about the XR71, I could, it's not a turn signal user. Is it a BMW? No, it's a VW. Okay. Here's a turn signal user. Silverado or F-150? I think it's an F-150. Yep. But yeah, I can't really relate to the people in that. So like, I can say, yeah, I like rock climbing. I like riding, make videos. That's kind of it, really. I watch YouTube a lot. I work at a grocery store for now. Wow, they are crazy. So yeah, that's me. Because the funny thing is, for logical reasons, cats over there now. I like writing, and I like having writings ready for people to look at, and I can share, and they could read at any time, and they're error-proof, and I can copy them really fast. I don't have to type it every time, and all that. So it's useful. So all of me is in my writings. You could read my writings for hours, and hours and hours and hours. You could learn about all of my writing concepts, which I could normally come up with in discussion. You could learn about me, which would normally develop over time. You could learn about my emotions, and I can be emotional through my writings, so I can provide you emotions instead of having to be there in person. I mean, I guess that's part of having lived a lot on my laptop without having social interactions like most people do often. I got good at typing. I installed Vencord, so I have commands. I can copy things quick. I formatted things to get to them easily and find them easily. And Google Docs is really a huge part of my life. If Google Docs went down, I would lose so much of documentation. I would have so many compilations lost. So much of my emotions is lost. So much is in Google Docs right now. So that's a big part of me. Murano, that's what it is, not Rogue. Murano. I don't know how you say it. It's still ugly. So yeah, Google Docs is a lot. And then I have my videos, of course. Many, many, many videos. So really, I am documented. Which is both a good thing and a bad thing, because most people don't document themselves. They are to be explored. Some people force to say, like, oh, I'm mysterious. My name is Shadow. I'm depressed, and you have to add me to talk to me, and I want a girlfriend. No, you don't. Shut up. You're annoying. But then people are just kind of like them. They're them. You find out about them. You learn about them. You bond with them. You marry and move in and have kids and all that. But me, what if someone did in person read all of my stuff? Everything I have to say. I would be me. I have my accents. I have my humor. I have my random facts. I can still come up with random topics like, hey, let's discuss retro reflectors. They're really cool. There still is things to talk about. But, in terms of understanding the core of me, I don't have a lot, do I? I don't know. that's the difficulty. I think that's the issue with that is the modern world. I'm not being condescending or anything, like, oh, the world sucks and I'm better than the world. But if everyone else was more like me, didn't watch TV or have shows, didn't, give the entertainment industry the money it gets just from playing with your dopamine system, and instead worked on being productive and improving society, and still had joy from things that are actually beneficial, like learning and rock climbing and stuff like that, we would bond over that stuff only. Which is why I guess it's ideal to find people who have my interests, and mainly rock climb, because that's a big thing, I guess. Because I could be me around them, but when it comes to like, hey, what do you like? I can't just say, oh, I'm a nerd and I do funny accents. That's not something you can give me a gift based on, or hang out with me based on. You can't just be me all the time, I guess. If you want to go somewhere with me or date me or stuff like that, there has to be interests. Other people like, oh, I like this anime. Okay, give me a gift on that. Or, hey, look, I'll watch this anime with you. Oh, cool, thank you. Hey, I learned about this anime. I want to talk about it. Sure, cool. That's a cool discussion topic with me. What? Give me an SR-71 model. Watch the documentaries I've watched a lot. To be fair, I actually would enjoy that. I would love to watch the SR-71 documentaries with someone. But, yeah. That's the issue, I guess. Not having things to bond over. It's just kind of funny, because the concept of that in general is really weird. Hey, let us create artificial things that are both fiction and nonfiction, and these will just be subjects, broad and not necessarily specific. You can choose what ranges, like aircraft or military aircraft or SR-71 only, or a certain SR-71 model, or a certain one in general, or the stuff like that. You can choose how broad and specific you want it. You can bond over certain things. You sort of collect these things. You could really be interested in anything. I could make myself interested in death metal and playing the Yandere sim if I wanted to. Probably. You just change your mind. So really, you kind of become who you are, and then it's based on how you grew up mainly. So you kind of just evolve over time based on your environment and influences to like certain things. And then based on who you became and what you liked now, based on how you grew up, you'll like other similar things or other things based on how your mind is wired from that. So then you can try and find these things and enjoy these things, and then bond with people who also like these things and have fun. But I didn't do that. I had interested, and I guess that maybe one problem I did find interested. I like gaming. I like doing that. I liked Beyblades. And then I just kind of lost these interests, really. I don't want to give monetization to things that I know I'll wear out on. I don't want to waste my time and doing something that'll make me less healthy, so I just kind of stopped. And I guess the biggest aspects of the traits I could bond over were lost. And I simply became me. I became a provider, in a sense. Once you take away someone's interests, their goal is to be good, and they are utilitarian, they want to provide to everyone. They no longer have individual things to bond over because, we share the same mindset, which means we like the same things. Which, of course, that's not really a general phrase. People can be total opposites but like the same thing, You could have a satanic person and a devout Christian both like Yandere Dev, stuff like that. But, cool, man. Yeah. How many filler words have I used this far? Probably a lot. But, anyways. I'm me. I got my personality, my voices. I could do many things. That's it. I don't really have an interest in that way. I have ways to make people... Ew, what is that? Oh, it's something like K6 Kia. Ugh. So yeah, I can make people happy, and I can give to them things, but... maybe that's one reason I'm not good at receiving. They have been walking for such a long time. Let me stay silent. Maybe they won't notice me. Oh, they will. Shh. I think they saw me. I don't know if they saw me. It'd be funny if they didn't. I think they did though. But anyways, yeah. So someone else, baseline level things. Hey, I just met you. My name's Janet. I like this. Cool. Let's do this. Okay. I really like this. Hey, I gave you something based on this. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Interests. They're interests. They're mutual. Can be mutual. But with me, I don't really have that. I don't really have, hey, I like this, except for certain things. Like, hey, I like the SR-71. Cool. I like rock climbing. Cool. I'm autistic. What do I have to be given to? What do I have to receive? I guess that's the problem. I don't really have things to receive. Other people would like certain things. That's another thing. I'm not really selfish or spoiled. There are things I could want. I could ask you for the $130 2-foot-long SR-71 model. I would like that. I would like to eat meringues. I enjoy a Jimmy John's sandwich. There are things I would like, but I don't need them, and I don't think about them a lot. I never really think about them at all. So I guess it's like when my parents give me something, I'm like, oh, thanks for getting meringues. I like that. That was intentional. And it's just, there's few things. My mom even says, you don't like to do anything these days. It's because I don't really have that many interests in the things I do like rock climbing. She can't give me a rock climb. So when she ever offers to do things, I don't like that many things because, again, my logical mindset, like, I don't want to give money to the entertainment industry. I mean, I can get entertained by just watching a video. So, wow, this initial problem, which I thought was just like, why do friends deserve more respect and why am I hard to receive things? And it's really was based on a lot. This goes really far back. I never thought this video would be so beneficial. But yeah, so gotta love pattern recognition. That was slightly drawn out unintentionally, and that reminded me of a certain person, which subconsciously shifted my mindset in a way where I'm more familiar with that person, and it sort of made me more like that person in a way. It's weird. The brain is kind of vague. You can't specify things really with the brain. But that was cool. Just extended a for about 0.5 seconds, and then my mindset shifted to be more like a person I know who does that. Isn't that cool? God does some crazy things, doesn't he? Back on topic. I don't really have face value interests you can base me off of. I am this person, and this is what I like. I am Joshua. I like rock climbing, and I like the SR-71, and I don't like much else, really. I like some other specific things, like a car show. Yeah, those are cool. I like historic buildings. I like pasta. So my interests are specific. They're not really general things with subcategories. I like very specific things. Like, imagine you met a guy named Joel. First name Bill. Last name Joel. So you met Bill, and he said, hey, I like this one specific band which plays this kind of niche genre of music. Only this band, not other bands with the genre. I just only like the way this band does it, and I only really like some of their songs. Only the ones from this certain time period, because the other ones are weird. So it's like, okay, what else do you like? I like the sandwiches this one restaurant makes. And it's like, okay, anything else? I like the color 42D4FD. It's like, all right. So let's plan a gift for Bill. Go to the sandwich place, or play the music to get merch from that band. Like, there's not much to do. Very specific things to do. Otherwise, you just hang out with Bill and like his personality. He's not really a big shot. So you just gotta play with that. Maybe he plays the piano. Maybe he's a piano man. And maybe you're the tiny dancer or something, Maybe he dreams of being in a rocket, going up in space for a long, long time. And that's just who Bill is. Bill is himself. He used to have interests, and you can hang out with him or talk about those interests, and if you have the same ones, you can talk about those. But where am I going to find a girl who would love to discuss with me the SR-71 and its many little quirks, and then go to a car? Most of my interests are really specific. And there's not just things couples can go, oh, we both like to play Stardew Valley. We do it every other week or something. Or, oh, we both like to listen to this band, so it's on our playlist. Or, oh, we like to do this. And it's like, for me, it's, oh, yeah, if we both happen to like the SR-71, I don't know, we both like it. Okay, what else? We both like classic rock. Okay, we listen to that. We both like rock climbing. Okay, we do that sometimes. There's not really broad things to connect over. There's not large categories. It's like a puzzle piece. Not really a puzzle piece, because those are specific. It's more like, okay, I know I could have come up with a better analogy, but it's like a hook and a loop. Now, there's supposed to be two hooks and loops designated for each other, soulmates, but you won't find that, most likely. So you can have a slightly smaller, slightly thinner loop, a slightly more sharp hook, and you gotta just try and find one that relatively fits the loop you're going into. You just gotta hope it works most in the way. What is the the moon is mostly covered, so it's just like this weird lower half sliver, because the cloud doesn't really look like it's there, but it is there. So it's covering the moon in a really weird way. What the? Oh, it's the top of the moon. Wait, what? It's the top? Really? What? Whoa. Okay, I didn't see that coming. Plot twist. So yeah, you can't just say, yeah, okay, oh yeah, the analogy. So, you know, this person likes this, you like this, okay, that means you'll feel a little better. You have almost nothing in common. You're like a really thin, kind of flat hook, and then they're like a loop that just does not fit you at all. So, with me, I'm just this very specifically curved hook. And if you're fine with just being a loop that's just generally open, you just like the idea of a hook, and it's like, oh, you're kind of cool in general, I'll just kind of go into loop in a general way, you know, that's fine. Just being me, just who I am, you enjoy that. But if you want to specifically bond with me, you got to really have the right shape for me to go in perfectly. Don't make analogies with anything that is not appropriate for children, please. That is not the intention. So yeah, I don't really have just this broad kind of, oh, generally shaped like this, and people generally shaped like this will get along with me. It's like, I'm this. You either accept who I am as a whole by being a big open loop, or you be specific and like exactly what I like, but there's no flexibility there. You have to be exactly perfect, so you can't really move around. There's no just like, oh, I can kind of find anyone, and oh, we can just kind of like hook in any way. You got to go in just like this, and there's kind of locked in place now, and there's not much else to do. So that's the problem, really. I don't have any broad interest to bond with people over. I'm just me. And if someone would like me, they could have me, I guess. If they're the right person for me. That's all I really like, someone else. If two people like each other, and you can make conversation, and you both enjoy things, you could do things. And things with form, of course. Lots of people aren't interested in one thing, and then they get with someone, and they're interested in that. And I guess I will share the interests of whoever I like. Hopefully. If they're good interests. Please don't listen to grunge. I won't like that. But, yeah. I'm just kind of me. Living life. Getting along. With my few things. Yes, SR-71, my beloved. That is thunder. No, that's a plane. Dang it. Can you see the plane? Where's the plane? Can't see the lights. Where? Am I zoomed in? I'm not zoomed in. Am I zoomed in? No, I'm not. Where'd it go? Okay, anyways. Yeah, so I'm just kind of me. I just low down. Can you see that? There it is. So yeah, I'm me, and I got my things, and I just hope someone likes me. Because the other people go like, oh, I want to find a girlfriend, I want her to like what I like, and it's like, I can't want her to like what I like, because I don't really like much. I can't expect to find someone who likes the SR-71. The amount of females compatible with me who like the SR-71 passionately is most likely in the single digits. Double digits would be insane. Because the amount of people in general who are passionate about the SR-71, not just aviation in general, and learned about the SR-71 intentionally, and are female, and are compatible with me, that's gotta be almost nothing. So, I can't bond people over my specific things. There's very few things I can. That's a little dipper. No, it's not. There's a little dipper. Not that you can see because the stars are too dim, but... Is that a big... What is that? That one's something, I think. Is that like part of the dipper? But it's just... I think it is, and just one of the stars is hard to see. I don't know. The Big Dipper? I don't know. Who cares? I know astronomers do. Stupid astrology, taking away the proper word from astronomy. I hate astrology because of that one reason. But yeah. That one star is so bright. His name is Jerry. I think. Pretty sure it's Jerry. You sure are patient listening to all this, huh? Marshall's background sound. But I'm glad I did this video. I could have just deleted it, but all I've learned. That one reason it's difficult for me to receive is because I don't have much to receive. I don't have anything someone could intentionally think about, hey, what does he like? And if I do, it's something specific. And of course, you could give me pasta every month for my entire life of a relationship, and I would enjoy that every single month you gave it to me. But you don't bond with someone over liking 4-cheese penny, or not penny, 4-cheese bow tie pasta, which is objectively the best thing in the entire world. So I don't really have just things to say, hey, I'm this, I like this, I like this, I like this. Oh, cool, I like this too. Boom, together. That's not how that works with me. It's, hey, I'm me. Let me show you me. I have my writings, of course. And I can provide all of this to you. If you will allow me to provide that to you, you'll get a lot. I think that's a dipper. I don't know. It's just a star missing or something. I feel like it's a constellation, but I can't tell. Oh, what? I just saw a meteor, or a shooting star, or a comet, or asteroid. I don't know which. Shooting star isn't a real thing. But I just saw one of the things. Whoa, that was cool. I'm sure you didn't see it because it was dim as hell, and the camera probably wasn't pointed that way. But if I did, okay, was it 105 something? Okay, I'll check back, and if I caught that on footage, that would be so cool. I know it's just a little thing burning up, but that was cool. I've never seen one in my life. It's my first one. Nice. So yeah, it was like I'm me. I don't know, I'm me. And I guess the one thing is that you can learn more about my things. I could tell you about the XO71, and I guess that's why people always say, like, oh, you have your documents, there's nothing to talk about, because, I don't know. Because with an interest, you can't just have everything. Like, even if someone did make documents, it can just say, okay, so I like a Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm going to make a document talking about every character and my opinions on them, my predictions and my thoughts on every episode. You could hypothetically do that, but that just doesn't make much sense, does it? I'm not going to make a document telling you all about the SR-71. I just know about the SR-71, and I have some commands on Discord regarding the SR-71, and I have compilations and memes about it. But I don't just have every thought about the SR-71 documented. You can't have every thought. Well, I have a thoughts document, so that's a bad way to word that. I can't have my thoughts on my interested list. I can't have a thought on every pasta. I can't have a thought on every classic car. You just have opinions on things. And there are things that you wouldn't document. You could document them, but you just don't. There's something again. So, I guess there are things to learn, and there are things to talk about. I get, again, more of a provider thing. If there's something to talk about, I could tell you everything about the SR-71. I could tell you everything about classic cars that I know, which is sadly not that much because I wasn't born in that era. I could tell you, that's the thing, I could tell you. What can you tell me? Other people can tell you things based on things you share. It's like, oh, you like that too? Let's discuss. Other people can't give to me. What do you give to me? And if you're just a standard person with interests, as most people are, you connect over those interests, not over just who you are, usually. You don't just connect because you like each other. Unless your personality is really large. That sounds relative to something suspicious, but anyways. Yeah. So unless your personality is just big on its own, you can't really bond over just nothing. So most people get interests, and then they'll have interests and they like those things, and you find someone else likes those things, and boom, friend made. But I can't do that. I'm forced to just kind of be me. And I can give to you my interests, but because, that's why I guess I get along with people who have big personalities. Because we don't have things to bond over. I can give you things. And if you don't have anything aside from your interests, which I won't share with you, then you either have to have a big personality, or you have to have things you can give me. So why don't people give me things? Why can't they tell me about their niche little aircraft they like from the Cold War, huh? Why is it that I can tell people about my interests and they're curious to learn? There are many interesting things to learn. I guess that's fine, yeah. Someone could just know a lot about something and have opinions on something and not have documented all those things. And they could tell me about the things throughout the time I know them, and we can make discussion on that stuff, and I can learn about the things too, and we share the interest. There we go, there's an interest. That's an interest then, isn't it? Yeah, like I said, the things, I have those too. I can talk about, certain things, like classic cars. Nice. Aside from the fact that it's at night, you could have done that in the day. That would have been cool. So yeah, I can talk about things. There are things to talk about. That's an inevitability. But in terms of face value things, you could say, hey, I'm this person, I like this. I don't have those. I have more niche things. So getting along with people has to be more specific. Either specific where I give to them exactly what I have because they don't share it, or they give to me exactly what they have because I don't have that, or general. We just like each other's personality. And I guess everyone, or at least most people, who have more than just interests will have some sort of niche thing to talk about. And I'll listen if it's not just some random anime that I don't give a crap about because it's fiction, and I don't care about fiction most of the time. Or pretty much any time. But if it's something real and it's something interesting, like, you know, the history of a place or a firearm or a plane, then cool, I'll listen. So I guess I just want someone to tell me things. I like to learn. So yeah, I guess that's the basis behind that. I just simply have the desire to learn all the time. So I want to learn. If you could tell me things, I'll learn. And if you like learning, which I hope the person is my partner would like to learn, because we would share the same personality. So we just like each other, and we both have things to share. I guess that is what I would be content with in a relationship. Having someone who likes to share things with me, and I can share things with them. We would both enjoy being each other, have accents, discuss random things like candy. So we could talk about the niche things, we could tell each other about our niche interests, and we can just enjoy each other in general. I will do a writing on this. I'm glad I did this video. It took a while to get to this point, but overall I finally learned how interests, generally interests act as a sort of quick bonding method between people. And I will find that analogy. Two things that come together but can be more quickly something you quickly identify, or in nature that is quickly identified by something, but without it, it's hard to identify, and you either have to be specific or broad. Wow, that is a tough analogy. Oh gosh. It's, geez, I'm typically really good at making analogies, but this one is hard. It's, wow, God, what is it like? Okay, cars are something I always go to for analogies because they're so adaptable. So it's like it's like having a niche car. You're not in the Hellcat community. You're not in the drifting community. Otherwise, you could just find your community and bond with those people. You have a 1997 Nissan something. I'm not familiar. Fine. I'll change the model because I can actually name it. A 1997 Ford Bronco. In red, soft top. You do not use it to off-road, so you can't go in the off-roading community. It is not modified, so you can't go in the modified Bronco community. And it's not just a stock Bronco, so you can't join like a Bronco meetup. Actually, fine, we'll give it that. Your very niche interest can be found, but it's not very common. There are not just people with Broncos going around. And yours specifically is on the road, so you can't go off-road with it at all. It has like road tires. So you have very, very niche things you could find to bond with people over, but overall, not really. You're just kind of your own thing. So either you have to find someone who just likes Broncos in general, or just SUVs in general. Okay, we need something more niche, not even a Bronco. But it can't be too niche, because like people like just niche cars. That's like niche car communities kind of exist. And then there's brand loyalty, so maybe that's not a perfect analogy. But I think I'm on the right track here. Basically specifying the interest thing to something that is still an interest. Let's say you like the SR-71 Blackbird. Now, there's not many people who do. It's really niche, but so you're gonna have to find one of two people. Either people who like the SR-71 Blackbird exactly, which is uncommon. People who like her niche, or people who like aviation in general, and they will enjoy it because they just like aviation in general. So you, being the SR-71, I've changed the analogy, fits better, because this is about personality. So you're the SR-71. People will either have to like aviation in general to like you, because you're the kind of person they like, or they have to like your specific parts, like how you are specifically an SR-71. Nope, I need to change the analogy again. Okay, someone who likes, goodness gracious, hold on, I'm thinking about the analogy. I don't know if it's good. So you're an A10, you get a gun. Okay. So you're an A10 Warthog. No, let's go SR-71 because I like it and I'm a nerd. You're the SR-71. Now, you could try to find other people who are SR-71s and share your aspects. You could find someone with an astro-inertial navigation system. You could find someone with a fully mechanical 3-axis elevon and rudder control system. You could find someone with 2 turbo ramjet thrusters. That's extremely rare, though. So, you're going to have to find one of 2 things. Either find someone who enjoys your broad self, people who just like planes. So, they're just going to like you in general, because you're just cool. Because that's how 71s are cool. And they're just going to like you in general. Or someone who likes specifically the astro-inertial navigation system. Very uncommon, but they might like exactly that. Now, if they like just that, there's not a lot to talk about. You break it down, okay, now you're done. They could talk about the astro-inertial navigation system multiple times, but there's not much to do based on that one aspect of you. So most people are just kind of like A10 Warthogs. Or, wait, no, because this analogy is breaking down. How can you have a broad something that people like? People like the broad aspect of it, but the intricate details they might not like. I like how this is a perfectly understandable concept, but I want to make an analogy for it anyways. And they might not like the intricate details, so you have to find some people who either like the intricate details themselves or the broad aspect of you. And most people, what they do is they just have, that's where the analogy breaks down, where most people just have in general interests. So you can have general interests, niche interests, and then just your broad self. So the 3 aspects, no, it's not even an entire being, because it's a separate part of it. So it's you, dang it. Is there anything that analogizes with this? Holy crap, this is tough. Laying on this curved stone thing is very uncomfortable, by the way. What can I make an analogy with this? I really don't know. Am I zoomed in? No, okay. So yeah, I don't... Oh, Jesus. Colors? Colors, maybe colors. There's a spectrum of colors in the world. People like their own colors. Some people like red, some people like orange. But you like very specific hex codes of colors. So either you have to find people who are interested in those hex codes, although you won't find the hex code very often in life, so there's not much to discuss about it, not much to point out. You can only apply it to that one hex code. Or you have to find people who like your... No, because this is talking about your personality and something you possess. So you can't just say you are a color and then you are a specific color, because this is about you are a color and then you have this, which is either broad or niche. Dang. You're a mechanic. No, that's not someone you can like. Alright, I think we have to take away the URA thing, because that really only analogizes with being a person in general, which is just the thing itself, but an example of it rather than an analogy. Okay. Take, for example, I'll try cars again. I'm just gonna go with the flow, see if it works. Probably won't. You're a car. You're a specific 1997 Ford Bronco. Now, no wait, you're not. Yeah, you're a Bronco. So people could like your car in general. They just like the Bronco. They don't care what's in it, what engine it has. They just like the Bronco. Or they could like the specific cup holders and the specific player it has and the antenna and the wheels you put on it. They're very intricate details, but those are very intricate things about you. Someone probably wouldn't be interested in those things. Now, most people, they just have... Okay, we're getting closer on the analogy, but it's kind of dynamic, so I don't know how to apply categories to it. They just have... they just have general. Well, no, because now this has to be a two-way thing. So you can't be a person who likes a car. It has to be a car who likes a car. So what the hell? This is a tough analogy. Ooh, this is the hardest analogy I've ever done. So it has to involve two things: liking aspects about each other and what they like. Is there anything else aside from humans with interests that have this trait? Two beings which link in specific ways, but can also link for their broad way. Okay. This could be mechanical. Two objects, because I don't think beings would work aside from humans, that come together either for just their general linkage or a specific aspect of that linkage. And most people just have common links. Okay, wait. I might have this. Okay. So two Lego pieces, which you could, oh God, no, this doesn't work. Two. My hook and loop analogy was the closest thing I've had so far. It's sad. Two pieces of wood. No, a screwdriver and a screw. Man, this is so hard. But I'm thinking so fast right now. A hammer. No, I didn't. Oh no! Why can't I think of it? What was that? Was that a comet? Did you see? That was so bright. Holy crap! That was insane. That was like brighter than all the stars. Okay. Wow. Anyways. Two. Dos. De. Dos. What two things freaking connect? How many things connect in the world? Jesus. Two. Oh no, I can't think of an analogy. Oh God, I can always think of analogies, but I can't. How many things connect? Legos, hooks and loop, Velcro. Am I gonna make an analogy about different Velcro's a brand, so about different hook and loop models? Those are hooks and loops. Jesus Christ. No. Two. See, a screw and a screwdriver kind of connect, but not in the typical way. So I was gonna make an analogy on that about how you have like a general screwdriver, which like a flathead, which can go with the cross ones and the flat ones, but you could also. It's just too specific, so you can't put anything in between. Like how people normally just have. People just have like a flat head, and then like you could have a because you can't have a general interest in a screw. That's not how that works. You can't do that. What? Okay, so it can have a specific aspect of it and a broad aspect of it. No. Is that another shooting star? Or is that an airplane? I know you can't see crap, but I swear that could be another one. But I think it's just why is it moving like that? Holy crap. If it blacks out, then it'll totally be an asteroid or one of the ones I can't remember the name of. It's very consistent though. It's like flying in a straight line. It's gotta be an airplane. Why is it so fast? It's like a drone? I don't hear anything. That's gotta be like a satellite, right? Like one of the Starlink things that glows for some reason. Why is it so bright? It's gotta be like a drone. Nothing travels that fast. Wow. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Is that an airplane? What is that? Why are they... They're coming towards each other. What's going on? It's like a missile hunting a plane. What is happening? I know you can't see crap, but... That one's definitely... It's circling around. Hold up. Did it circle around or am I tripping? Where did it just come from? Is it going straight? Am I hallucinating? I swear that was coming towards it, but it's not. What? I think they're getting dimmer. What? That one's fading. Okay. Well, I feel like I'm going insane. But anyways, analogies for things that connect. Okay. I think I might actually have to use that hook and loop analogy. It's the best thing that fucking works. But it needs to be able to either connect in a general way, like a claw that grabs something in a general way, or it goes into a specific slot. Oh, okay, I'm getting there. So you can either grab a water bottle like by the entire thing, or by a specific. No, because then it has to be a way that it links in a specific way, or you ignore that. But how can something with a link bypass it and just go to the entire? It has to. A key. It has to be a key of some sort that either goes in a specific way, and then people normally have. What do they normally have? What is it? Going insane. Oh my god! I can't make an analogy for this. I'm dying. They just have a. I can't make an analogy. Oh, I hate this. It's like they normally have like a broad key where kind of you could have like differences in the key, but you could just stick it in typically, or like a lever that but Jesus Christ, I'm dying here. I can't make an analogy. I'm always able to make analogies. Holy crap. You were watching a person having a breakdown because they cannot make an analogy. When I finally get this, it'll feel so amazing. If I don't get it, I'll be so annoyed. What? What? Nothing works. Nothing works in this analogy. A what? Oh no, I can't make an analogy. How many things come together? The complexity of this is insane. A knot? No. See, that didn't work. No. A climbing hold. I'm really trying to stretch this out. Okay, that's got to be an airplane, right? Why is there so many moving lights in the sky? Okay, so rock climbing hold. Most people, you try to have the right. It doesn't work. But it kind of does. Okay, a rock climbing hold with the smaller one on it, and most people try to grab like a smaller hold, so they make it kind of like an easy one to grab. So you just got to have the right kind of size of hand to fit the hold. But if you don't, oh well. But you could also try to grab the entire hold itself, or try to go in the right. This is hard. I can't. All kind of things do people fit into, but you can also kind of bypass the exact fit and go for the general one. Oh my god. a um a what? What do I do? What? Nothing works. Pants with laces. Most people try to fit the average. No, because that makes it on an average in other sizes. But you could be like a niche. You can't have niche sizes. That's not how that works. But you could also have. No, that doesn't work. Ah. Oh my god. A hat. No. A glove. Fits like a glove, huh? So you're a glove. Or you're a... Yeah. And you're trying to fit someone's hand. Now, most people just go for a one-size-fits-all kind of glove. No, that doesn't work because you can't just have one interest that covers everything. Okay, most people try to have a glove that just kind of generally fits a size of hand. And that works. You put it on, fits that size pretty well. But you are a very tight glove for a very specific hand shape. So someone could... No, because then you can't bypass that fit. You can't just kind of put it on. It's how it works. How can you have something that either has an exact fit or doesn't have an exact fit, and that's fine? You could have not the exact fit. How does that work? That doesn't work. That's not how things work. Things don't just fit, but also cannot fit. There has to... Nothing's working. I can't think of a single freaking analogy. There's so many complexities to this analogy. Like, it has to be broad, but also could be perfect, and there has to be a way you can have multiple categories of it, and that could fit generally, but there's also nicher categories of it. But you can also bypass the categories in general and take it as a whole. That doesn't make any sense. Nothing fits this logic. It's like... It's... It's... See, I'm having things like where I get most of the way there. Like, it's like bullet sizes in a gun. You can have multiple sizes which fit common types of gun. Yours is really niche. So someone can either have like that specific gun that fits your bullet type, or they can have a gun that just fires that bullet type, but it doesn't have work because it has to have that right bullet type. That's how that works. You have to have the right gun for that bullet. You can't just have a thing that just fires any type of bullet. It doesn't work. You can't have something broad and specific. That's not how logic works. There has to be an analogy though, right? There got to be an analogy. There has to be one. What fits specifically and broadly, but can also vary in the level of specificity. Something that has various levels of specificity, but you can also bypass that level of specificity and take it as a whole. Oh, God, what exists that is like that? I will include the timestamp in the description of when I finally find it, if you want to skip to that. But I doubt you're still paying attention. If you are, you're gonna watch the entire thing, aren't you? I wanna watch the breakdown of someone autistic. How evil you, you're a sadist. It's hard to get prey. Hard to get prey. Because they're trying to it's you could try to it's okay. Got it. Maybe, fucking maybe. You can. You're assaulting a city. Now, most people go for the typical assaults, these coordinations, this and that. No, wait, no. Someone is a. You're in a city. Okay, I'll try to work with what I have now. Someone is a place being assaulted and invaded. Now, most places like this, you can use typical. There's various methods you can use to get in, but this one is me. I am this place that I'm very specifically designed, where you have to use either a certain method to get in, or just overwhelmingly brute force it in a way that would work with anything. That is the best I can do right now. Oh my God. I cannot think of an analogy. I am trying. I have a headache right now because I've been thinking intensely for like 40 minutes. Imagine someone was observing me right now. Watching this weird breakdown. It's brute force. Overall, even that analogy doesn't work. It doesn't work because it's weird, and also because brute forcing absolutely anything doesn't work because you still have to like their personality in general, and sometimes personalities, even though they're more broad, don't perfectly work. So you can't just brute force everything. I thought of like animal adaptations, those don't work. I thought of like someone is. No, you're not assembling something because that doesn't work either. You can do it a certain way. You can't just brute force an assembly. You're pulled to. You're. I can't do it. You have to. You're plugging an outlet into. No. This is almost where everything almost works. Everything almost works. It's how this works, but nothing perfectly works because this logic is absurd. That's ugly. You're. It's working. There has to be an analogy for this. There has to be. Right? There has to be. Is there? I don't know if there is. Maybe there is. I don't know. Can I go back to cars? Can I try cars again? Something specific, but also you're wheel sizes. You're more obscure wheel size. But you can either, you're an obscure, most people just put the right wheels in the kind of car that fits. But you're an obscure one, so people can either have the exact car or just kind of mount. You can't just mount a random size wheel to a random car. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. There's no logic to that. You can't do that. You're a nail size, a screw type, and people just go with the normal types, but you're an obscure one, so we can either use you exactly, but you can't misuse a screw. Everything is designed to fit perfectly. That's how everything is designed. It's designed to work the right way. You don't just generally do something or do it specifically. These are either designed to fit or be adaptable. They aren't designed to be fit and adapted. That's not how it works. You're gonna start self-model, but you're the more obscure. Yes, YF12 interceptor model, but so you kind of have to use a certain mission. It doesn't work. Everything is designed to be done the way it's supposed to be done. Nothing, either that or it's meant to be adaptable. Can't have that, and this logic is insanely detailed. What the fuck are you? What are you? I don't know what you are. None of this logic works. You're plane. You're plane and pilots have to pilot plane. And they try to, and then most people just go with the normal plane, but you're an obscure plane, you're hard one to fly, so people aren't familiar with you. So they have to know exactly how to fly your plane, or they have to be a multi-talented professional to fly the. Doesn't work. To like you as a plane in general. No, because if you're a multi-talented professional, then you can do any plane. That's not how that works, because you have to either like someone as a person, and you can't just like everything in general. You can't like everything. It doesn't work. How can you take something broadly, but not entirely broadly, but also take the it's. You're a car. Then people can like your type of car, but most people just no, it doesn't work. Your font, your word, your language. I don't know what you are. What are you? Nothing works. Everything is designed. I'm trying to think of natural things, but natural things are too dynamic for these categories. You're a tree. People typically go. Most trees grow a normal way. You're a buck. There's a certain. You're something that where typically it can be done in a normal way, but you do it in an obscure way. So either you have to have the right compatibility, or something can generally accept the way you do it, but it can't also, that generality can't apply to everything. What logic fits? You're a bird. Most birds eat the normal things, and they can eat certain things, so they can eat certain things. But then, so you have to find a bird that eats what you eat too, so you can live together. But then you're an obscure bird. You eat a weird thing, so you have to find one of those obscure birds and try to find what they like, or you have to find an omnivore. It doesn't work. You're a mammal. You're a mammal. You eat something. No. You're a plant. No, you're not. You're not a plant. You're a human, aren't you? I don't know what you are. You're a cell. you need another cell. Most cells here that no, it doesn't work either. That doesn't work. Doesn't work. You are a hook. And you need to attach to a loop. Most hooks go with a no, you are a loop. No. It's a better attaching mechanism. You are a bar. You're a bar. No, you're not. You're a shape. I'll try my best. You're a shape. No, doesn't work. You are a loop. And you need a hook to attach to you. Now, most people are just certain sizes, the standard sizes of hooks or loops. So a hook can easily go into them if they fit the right type. But you are an obscure size. So someone either needs to have your exact size to fit into your loop, or they need to have a more generally fitting hook, which does not fit into every loop, but fits into yours, and like yours, like did I just spend 50 minutes to loop back to the same analogy I started with? Is that why I started with it? Because it was the only one that makes sense? And my mind inherently goes for the best thing? No, I won't accept this. There has to be a similar analogy that makes more sense. Just different shapes, that's all I'm asking. Different shapes that connect. What shapes connect? You're a pin and wheel, wheel and rod, rack and wheel and pinion. No, I don't know what are they called? Wheel and axle. You're a wheel and axle. You're an axle. They're a wheel. Most go in the standard sizes, but you're a weird size. They have to either fit your exact size or just have a large enough hole to fit you, which doesn't fit others because that kind of flops down. But it's just broad enough to fit your axle. But then again, we're categorizing interests as the same thing as your whole personality, which breaks logic, which means none of this works, which means that all of my best attempts have not worked because it's categorizing the interests along with your personality. None of that is how it works. You can't just generally like interests, certain interests, because then that adds to the broad and expansive. I give up. I'm done. This video is almost 2 hours long. I've spent almost an entire hour trying to figure out an analogy for what appears to be illogical. People, as I mentioned, have interests. I don't. And like some easily bonded people, and I don't have that. People have to accept me as a whole, or like my specific things. And having interests seems kind of illogical if you think about it. I think everyone should be more like me. It may seem narcissistic to you, I don't care. That's my belief. So, trying to find this weirdly human-made, artificial, somewhat illogical concept somewhere else in the concept of design. Something which is both not perfectly fitting, but also able to be generally fit. No, not even that. That's what I was doing all along. That's what doesn't work. It has to either fit a standard type, or it has to be an obscure type to fit. And if it's the obscure type, then it also has to be able, any type should be able to be overridden by its specific fit. And be just kind of taken in as a whole, used in general. Something that can have multiple fits with standards and specifics, but can also be bypassed entirely by just being used as its whole self, ignoring the fit. Something that has different fits, some of which more common, some of which more obscure, but the fits can be ignored and used normally. Or not normally, but used as a whole. But not universally, just in a more broad aspect. Something with multiple sizes, some more common than others, but the size specifics can be ignored and it can be used more generally. Not universally, but more generally. What is like this? I'm thinking right now, by the way, if you couldn't tell. A box of bubble wrap. No, doesn't work. Still thinking. The mutual part makes this hard. Most things can apply in one way, but not both ways. A An adapter. No, that's stupid. No. Really just ignoring the mutual part now, though. How it can go two ways. got 4 of them right here. Does he not know he's there? Oh. Hi. You're chill. You're not chill. You're chill. Hey, buddy, what's up? You're not chill anymore. You're still not chill. Your tongue's stuck out. Still thinking. Don't worry. So stealthy I could sneak up on a cat. I like being stealthy. Still thinking. I'm thinking about so many objects with different sizes right now. It's insane. A. Nope, doesn't work. Huh. A. Shirt. No. A. The headache really hurts now. A. Tire size. No. A. No. A. I'm trying to say no, by the way, that's me thinking about one that might work and it doesn't. I don't want to be up this late, by the way. This is past and I'd like to sleep. No, it doesn't work. Best I got right now is a marker and a material. There are many common markers for certain materials. Markers for wood, markers for glass, markers for paper. You're a very specific material that needs a certain marker. So someone can either have that very specific marker, but then that marker can only be used in that instance, not really often. Or they can have a multi-purpose marker, which has many surfaces. Now these markers can't cover every surface, but it's more broad. So they can just kind of, wait, no, you're the marker or they're the surface? No, they're the surface. No, what are they? I don't know. They're the surface. And they need the right marker to bond with them. Now, you're a very obscure no, because you have to be the obscure one, but they have to accept the broad part of you, which means you have to have the obscure and the broad thing. They can't have a broad thing for your obscurity. Dang it. I've been misunderstanding this. You are a PC fan. Now, most people go with fans that fit the typical case sizes. But you're an obscure fan. You're a weird size with a weird connection port. No, not weird connection port. Normal port. So someone can either have the exact kind of PC that supports your fan type, which makes it a very obscure use. You'll only be used in that specific PC. Or they can just kind of use your fan blowing powers in general to, cool. Might not be perfect, but no. And also, just like it not being perfect, that's this analogy. Because that's combining your interests with your personality, which are two distinct things. Huh. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. I feel like a philosopher before something was understood, trying to figure out a concept we now well understand, like defining the elements. We wouldn't thought water was an element. So, and you're a knife. You're not a knife. Why did they turn around? They're going that one direction, and they turned to fall down. I'll turn around again. Why not? That's what it feels like in my head right now. What's the word? Not visualizing. I am creating the sound of what it sounds like in my head. What is the word for that? I am audioalizing? No, I'm not audioalizing. That's not a word. I'm speaking. No, that's not what I'm going for. I'm making it into sound. I am sounding, sort of, maybe, I don't know. My thoughts. You're glue. You're just a glue type of a certain thing. Certain thing, but you're a secure glue type of another. Use it for what you have. No, because you can't just be a homogeneous substance, because you need to have its traits. Entire things, like cars, that have traits, like engines. People typically have certain engines people are familiar with. But you may be a special kind of car, but you have a weird engine. So you can either have someone who likes that engine, although you won't have much to talk about except for that one engine, or they can just like your cars. The answer was cars all along. I'm sure there's other analogies, but I finally got it. With cars. Your car? Can I make a better one? You're a car with an engine. Lots of types of cars, but you're a pretty flashy car. You're not just like a Nissan Altima. You're a Toyota Land Cruiser, 3rd generation. Pretty cool car. Now you have, in the modding world, which, no, that didn't work, but, well, there we go, it doesn't. You're a, Gosh. What's comparable? Okay, we'll stick with it. Most people, despite being a boring car, they modify themselves. They'll have certain things people like. People like blacked out logos. People like tinted windows. People like larger engines. And these share these things, and there's niches within these things. But me, I don't really have one. I'm just kind of, the car itself is cool. Everything else is pretty standard. So you'll either have to accept or like the very niche things, like the certain different cup holders it has, or the new lug nut shapes, weird things, not much to talk about there, or the car itself. There must be a better analogy for this. Phones. Your phone. You like the phone as a whole and its functions? No. We're getting closer here. We have the general idea down now, so we are getting closer. You're a house. No. I keep thinking about guns for some reason. You're a gun. No, that doesn't work well. You're a bomb. No, that doesn't work either. You are. Can't just be one thing. It has to be a thing with aspects to it that vary among people. That's why I'm thinking about machines, because they're more intricate. You're a plane. Doing this one again. Now, those people. No. Doesn't work. You are. Only thinking of modes of transportation now. This isn't working very well. You're a horse. You're a brilliant horse, actually. You have many colors. Very cool horse. Most people are just a brown horse, or a black horse, or a white horse. Now, most horses have saddles and horseshoes and other things that horses have. And that makes them connect to other horses. Horses that share those saddle brands and horseshoe brands in common. But you have really obscure ones. So either you can find the very few people who like those, or someone could just appreciate you being a horse as a whole. Because you don't really have these general things. You have obscure things. That's a better analogy, I think. You get the idea now, right? But horses don't share. You know what two creatures have things about them that they both appreciate? Humans. And I'm not sure there's any two-way mutual enjoyment of each other's aspects that can occur outside of humans. It is extremely difficult to find these. Why would you... Oh, because they're turning. You are a... What's an animal that has a lot of variation and it needs to find a mate with the same kind? You are a pufferfish. No, I was thinking of scuttlefish. Is it scuttlefish that make the things in the ground? The cool patterns? I don't know. You're a... Because a lot of mating in animals is the male trying to show off to the female. It's not typically a two-way thing where like there's a pattern they have to match or something. A pheromone they have to share, you know? I'm trying to think of something like that. Huh. help if I had Clint's Reptiles here to help me out. I'm sure he would know. What's an animal that has to have the same pattern as their mate in order to mate with them? Don't think there's an animal like that. There probably is, because the animal kingdom is insane. But I don't know what it is. Or at least same call, same pheromones, or the same interests like humans have. Liking the same food. Did the birds you eat earlier, like how you have to have a bird that likes the food? That's among species. Now, see, interspecies mingling does not happen. Maybe an omnivore that eats certain things, but other parts of their species don't eat those things, and you eat an obscure thing. So someone had, no, it doesn't work, because then you have to have an omnivore that eats everything, and that breaks the logic. If you recall why that breaks the logic, you are shockingly attentive. Two animals. Doing that thing again where you try to dive deep into something super mundane and then you realize you just go back to the normal answer, but you understand why. Like, I think I'm just starting to, all I'm looking for is the answer of humans, which is what we started with. Why am I trying to do it? Literally, we don't even need an analogy for this. I'm only doing the analogy to challenge myself, and I did not realize how far it would get. And dear Lord, did it get far. It's crazy. You're like that one species of, I think, duck or something that has really long penises with a weird shape that has to fit in to the vaginal tract of the woman. Something like that. I don't know. Something we need to be compatible to mate. What makes a male more compatible with variations? You are doing a mating dance. Most people go with the standard dances that work, but yours is obscure. So someone has to either like the specific dance you do, or they have to like you being a bird as a whole. But see, that's one-sided, not two-sided. That's the problem. That's why I avoided it in the first place, but I keep forgetting what I avoid and come back to it and realize, oh yeah, I already avoided that because of that reason. Silly me. I feel disconnected from Earth right now. The world isn't real, I'm just kind of in my thoughts. My body automatically walking, which it's very cool function, honestly. It's able to do that for a cool reason. Brain is insane, God bless. Not sure how well you can really hear me right now. I'm just walking. My head drooped to the side, past the time I would normally sleep. I'm trying to think of an analogy that I don't have to think about, for one that probably doesn't exist. I just go home and use ChatGPT to look up what might work and get an answer. It'd be funny, wouldn't it? You are a... What are you? Please tell me what you are. I have multiple writings asking who you are. I don't have the energy to go all the way up. You're... I don't know what you are. Don't freaking know what you are. Buddy, I don't know what you are. Oh, there's Chino and his owner who smokes. Let's go the other way. It's gonna mess with the cats again, but he's going that way. Chino is the dog my male dog gets hard for because my dog is bisexual. Wait, dogs have pheromones. Oh, he's going my way, dang it. Okay, you're a dog. You have to have the right pheromone. The other dog. Most people have the typical. So you can't just choose pheromones and have more obscure. That's not how that works. That's the thing. My leg just literally gave out for a moment there. I do not think there is truly a good analogy for this. At least now I can tell people I've wasted an hour and a half of my life trying to think of an analogy for something that doesn't need an analogy. Haha. So fun. Due to my mind being the way it does, I've given it a task and I cannot abandon it, can I? Could just fall asleep and ignore it, couldn't I? Can't think anymore. Just want a hug. Nothing's working. A knife. No, you're not. Over there? Yeah. I'm done. I can't think of this analogy. It doesn't exist. The analogy doesn't exist. It's humans. Humans are the most complex animal there is. Our brains are fascinating. They are fascinating. We're proud to create. We can't be compared. Trying to compare our created interests, which isn't a natural thing in nature, nor is it logical enough to be designed by humans. It is at a midpoint with complex logic, so absurd that it breaks the rules of design of humans, and it's unnatural to find in nature. So trying to do both of those doesn't work. My attempts at using complex things like cars to analogize due to the complex nature of this, because I need more adaptability in the analogy. Fail because the logic of this, it's not just the complexity of the logic, it's the logic. That's how unnatural the logic is, and how illogical it is, because really, as I've mentioned before, having interests in the typical way a person does is somewhat illogical. I wish people were more like me. I don't really understand it because I'm not normal. I'm just me. I'm different. That sounds so cringe, doesn't it? But yeah, it's true. I don't understand the normal person. I don't understand having interests or having friends. It's not what I'm used to. I'm used to being me, and I'm not used to seeing this as logical, because it really isn't logical. Interests are an odd thing, aren't they? Especially when they're something from the entertainment industry, which I find to be quite a silly thing. Profiting off of something that doesn't exist for no reason, just because people are willing to pay for it. Find something better to do. And typically, you can find analogies for everything. But for how complex, illogical, and unnatural this is, it's difficult to find something unnatural in nature, and it's difficult to find something illogical in design. You must find something in between, which is already rare. But then the complex nature of this analogy requirement makes whatever you find quite silly. Basically doesn't exist. And won't satisfy all the